So let's talk about the multiplayer in Crash on the Run, which I think that many people are actually really excited for. We now roughly know on how the multiplayer will be like in the new Crash mobile game thanks to the recent article posted by Gamespot. Now I would like to summarize and highlight the important key points about the multiplayer in this article so you don't have to read every single detail here. Now firstly, after reading through this, I feel that some of the details of how the multiplayer will be handled might, well, somehow turn people off, maybe leaving them quite disappointed actually. Which brings me to say it is still early to tell whether this is the exact final build of the multiplayer, so as I always say, take any leaks and early news as a grain of salt. Now the first half of the article basically talks about the time trial and how it works in the new Crash mobile game. Now I've already talked about the time trials in my previous video, so do check that video out after watching this video, and at the bottom half is where the actual juicy part of the online play details is at. Here is what it exactly says by Gamespot. King is also added team runs to Crash Bandicoot on the Run's asynchronous online multiplayer. After securing 5 power gems, which are rewarded after defeating bosses, players can go online with a team of up to 30 members to challenge other global teams. Once a team run has been selected, 3 members from 3 different teams will race together to see who gets the furthest. The longer player runs, the more Crash points their team earn. Now there's quite a few things to actually break down here that I think that you really should know about. First off is the multiplayer mode, namely team runs will be an asynchronous online multiplayer. Now if you actually play mobile games a lot, asynchronous multiplayer is quite a popular thing, whereby you're not actually playing with other players in real time. Rather, you're actually playing with players' recorded data / gameplay during that session, and this is where I think will turn most people off, especially if you're expecting a live opponent or teammate to be playing alongside you, and this doesn't seem to be the case for the team runs game mode. Now how do you unlock the multiplayer? You simply need to collect 5 power gems, which you can get by defeating bosses that will give players an ample amount of time to practice offline before heading into the more competitive side. Now what caught my eyes is that you're able to go online with a team of up to 30 members to challenge other teams. 3 members from 3 different teams will race together, which means that whichever team that collects the most Crash points from running the furthest is the winner. Now yes, there is no surprise here, team runs is basically a team game, but the wording is slightly confusing for me after reading it multiple times, because they actually mentioned that 3 members from 3 different teams will race together. So I'm not entirely sure if that means a total of 9 players, which is broken down into 3 teams, will be racing against each other, or that simply means a 1 versus 1 versus 1 and the final points sort of collaborated and compiled. We need to wait for more clarification on this when more is actually announced, so stay tuned on the channel as I try to gather more info that I can find, and I'll let you know as soon as I can. But enough about me, I want to know what you think of the multiplayer details released by Gamespot. Remember, this is actually really early news, so if you want to understand how the multiplayer truly works, it is best to actually wait until a few more months down the line, closing towards the release of the game. But yeah, if you actually understand, or if you're just guessing on how the multiplayer actually works, let me know down in the comment section below on your thoughts, and you might be in the comment of the day of my next video. And the usual YouTube stuff, do subscribe if you enjoy my content for more Crash Bandicoot / gaming related news. You can always unsubscribe anyway if you change your mind. And while you're still here, check out the video on the left here where we talk about the new time trials mode and how it looks freaking cool. Or check out the video on the right, as I'm sure you enjoy them just as much as I did in making them. This is the Viperian signing off, thanks for watching and stay awesome.